Well, welcome back for another Hard Hat edition. Today we're going to talk with our board members, our Capital Improvement Board members. So Joyce Poling, Jim Silberstein, Adam Teese, Doug Bruce, who are here with us today. And I'm going to ask them some questions about how they feel about progress on the project, what their favorite feature is, what they think the economic and quality of life benefits are. And I'm excited about talking with them. So we'll begin here in a moment, I think, with Joyce Poling. So Joyce, how do you feel about the progress of construction so far?
Well, I am so excited to see everything happening, but even more than that, I'm excited by what the community says about it. So I walk into work and somebody said, "Did you see the brick wall?" Yes, I did. So that's the good thing after many of these years for the community to see what's happening, and it's here.
What's your favorite feature about the construction?
You know what that is. That's a balcony.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think that will be unusual, unique, and that people will really enjoy going out there and enjoying the scenery and hopefully better weather than we've had in this March.
And you're an architect by profession. What's your favorite feature about the new building?
Well, since we can't see the inside yet and experience what that's going to be like, what I really was excited about, and the renderings show it so well, is the form of the building. It's not just a box. It reaches out, it reaches up, but it hides its height because of how they designed the roof. I like the butterfly roof. I like the fact that out of most convention centers I've ever been to, this will be one of the few with an upper outside space. And I think we're going to find that's where everybody's going to want to be. I think that's going to be really cool.
How do you feel about the progress of construction to date?
I feel really good. I think it's amazing to see. It's kind of like spring has sprung, and not just the flowers are coming up, but so is our building. I think they've stayed, Weddle Brothers has stayed right on the timeline, and every day there's something new to see. I drive by it every day just to see. I think it's fantastic.
What's your favorite feature? When you think about the architecture and the statement and what we've designed, what's your favorite part?
That's an easy one for me. That butterfly roof, I think, is beautiful. I know I advocated for that in the beginning as part of the design crew. I think it's going to be a unique building. We've got nothing else like it in town. I'm very excited about how that's shaping up. And I know we're going to have colorful lights too, so that's in the future.
That's right.
That's in the future.
Those have been your major contributions.
That's right.
Colorful
That's
lights,
it.
a butterfly roof.
That's all I've done.
Jim, you're a unique member of our board in that you're an entrepreneur. You've had your own businesses. You've had successful restaurants. You brought all of that to us. What do you see the benefits of this project to our community economically, quality of life? How do you see that?
You know, I worked with Talisha 40 years ago with the Downtown Bloomington Commission, and we talked about needing a better, bigger convention center back then. And here we are 40 years later getting around to it. It can only, accelerate everything that's happening downtown, restaurants, bookstores. Everybody who will visit this convention center will use all of our facilities downtown. I can't imagine it not being a huge accelerant to benefit all of us. So I'm excited about it.
Well, Adam, ironically, this is your last board meeting, so we're talking today when you're going off the board, and I want to thank you for your service and your friendship, and you've been such a valuable member.
2.5 great years. So
it has been. Let me ask you, how do you feel about progress on construction so far?
Oh, it's compelling to come down College Avenue and start to see this new structure unfold in this part of the community, and I think architecturally, just the logo of the convention center is now the actual icon of what the architecture was. And that was one of our goals 2.5 years ago, if you remember, is that it would have some iconography to it. And it does. The roof line and just the general form of the building, I think, is really exciting to see come out of the ground.
What's your favorite artistic, if you will, architectural feature about the new building?
I think the fact that you're in the downtown, but this building now is defining a new part of downtown. It's defining a new district in the downtown area. And I think the idea that there's both a bridge and a structure that kind of creates a sense of arrival is really new and important for this part of downtown.
What do you see as the benefits? You've touched on some of them. The benefits to our community, be they quality of life or economic benefits. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think I have not yet met a person who doesn't say they love Bloomington. And that means both residents, but also visitors and guests. And this building will allow people to have a portal to come into Bloomington, whether they're coming for a convention, an event, a family's wedding, whatever it might be. It's going to be a route for them to come into Bloomington and taste this community. And I think that's exciting in and of its own right, but that it's a chance for people to get to experience the community through this new structure.
And how do you think the project's going to benefit us regionally, quality of life, economically? How do you see us benefiting from this project?
Well, I think a lot of people will be coming into our community who've never been here and will be visiting for a convention or so forth and so on, and we'll want to come back. And again, we have waited for years to have this happen. We have a great partnership with IU, and often they have events that need a larger space, and we haven't been able to provide that. So I think lots of great things will be happening.
How would you assess the benefits of this project to the region, to Bloomington, economically, quality of life?
A long time ago, I learned from Steve Howard, who was the Chamber of Commerce president back then. And his quote when I was on the board was, "As tourism is your greatest dollars because it brings people into town, they spend money and they leave. You don't have to babysit them." And so I've always felt like a convention center and tourism activities bring in dollars that aren't just recirculated, they're new dollars to town, and then they leave. And so this building allowing us to host more events and take Bloomington's uniqueness to a greater reach of people, I think is just going to be amazing.
No, the market analysis indicate we could see a creation of up to 500 new jobs.
Well, I had restaurants here for 20 years, and Sunday through, the early part of the week is pretty quiet, and convention centers are busy Monday through Friday. So, if we can fill restaurants Monday through Friday, because the convention center is busy, that's all fantastic. So I think it flattens out the business cycle in a way that nothing else really will.
Jim, you mentioned stylistically the architectural feature of the butterfly roof, but also we're preparing it for solar panels later on. In the eventuality we can afford to do that. So how would you comment about that?
So we brought that up early with the architects to possibly install solar panels to make this a super green project. But it wasn't in the budget to put the solar panels up, but the important part was to make sure the roof was solar ready, so the infrastructure was there. The architects at Schmidt were able to work that out. They worked it into the plan, we worked it into the budget, so when the time comes that we can afford to put solar panels on that roof, it will be ready to accommodate solar panels, and we'll green up. What we already have a LEED silver project, and that could possibly push it to a LEED gold project. So that would be fantastic if we could do that.
And you've been involved wearing multiple hats because you were a county commissioner. You've been on the Monroe County Building Corporation that's provided the oversight and stewardship for the current building. So you have history with this.
I do have history, and that makes it even more fun for me to see the culmination of all those years and to see what's happening for our community.
Well, thank you again for joining us for another monthly Hard Hat edition. We look forward to seeing you again next month. We're so excited about the progress, and I so enjoyed talking with our board members today. They've all been such valuable contributors, and it's just been such a great activity for all of us. And I appreciate their volunteerism and all the advice and insight they've been able to share. So anyway, we'll see you next month. Very excited.